Seeds of True Success. And today we're really happy to invite a special guest, Lara Gibbby. And she's got an amazing bio. She has a degree in psychology from Fort Lewis College in Durango, Colorado. She also has a degree in nursing. She's a registered nurse, and she got her degree in Phoenix, Arizona. I forgot the name of the college, but
Brookline.
Brookline College.
Teensy one.
So she's a practicing nurse. And what does that tell you about Lara? She not only works with the physical body, but she's also working with the mind. And she's on the show today because the title of the show is Getting Rid of Obstacles for Enjoying Our Life. And now I know that you've heard all of this before. We talk about seeds and how we plant seeds every moment of the day, because everything we think, the things we see ourselves doing, and the things we hear ourselves saying, we're planting seeds moment by moment. But what I want to address today is the obstacle to doing the 4 steps. We know about the 4 steps, but often we have obstacles to reaching our goal because we don't have faith that we can do it. So let's quickly do a quick review of what the 4 steps are. The first is to decide what it is that you want and then make a sentence about it, a really short, clear sentence. The second one is to find someone else who wants the same things you want or something very similar, and make a detailed plan of how you're going to help them get that. Where you're going to meet them, do it on a regular basis at the same place, same time, 1 time a week. And third, just do it. Actually meet them. And the 4th step is to be happy about what you've done. Just remember it. Do a coffee meditation at night before you go to bed. So now that we've reviewed that, I want to invite Lara to give us some suggestions, because she specializes in helping us remove those obstacles, getting over the mindset that makes us feel like we can't do this. So Lara, would you tell us a little bit about what it is you do?
So what I do is I like to help people, I guess with the seeds, like you said, when they start reaching those blocks of trying to implement them, I'm helping people cross those blocks. I'm helping people understand the methods of creating those pathways that make it where they create the habit of planting seeds. And so like in my own life, for planting seeds was becoming a coach, was leaving so much of the Western modality of healing to enter into a more spiritual modality. But in the sense of, for me, I needed more peace of mind. I needed more stability in my life. And one of the things I've heard you talked about as some of the 5 main things would be people wanting peace. And so I didn't really go the financial route of seeds. I went for a peaceful mindset. And as I started trying to get a peaceful mindset, I was like, oh, I've got to help everyone else get a peaceful mindset. So I started doing that and, just really feeling gratitude for what I was doing. So instead of like how the coffee meditations you talk about, I do a gratitude journal, which is the same. I write down just a page of every single thing throughout my day that I'm thankful for. And so that's the same as with how you talk about the coffee meditations. It's the same thing where I'm helping others. I created the clear vision. I want the peaceful mindset. I've been helping others and, gone down that path, and I'm having the sense of gratitude for the things that I'm trying to implement and the things that are coming in from it.
Well, that's great, Lara. So I'm very curious. Let's just say, for instance, that I have an obstacle. I can't even get started. How would I remove that obstacle with your practice? What would you recommend to me to do if I'm afraid to even start a 4-step plan because I can't imagine ever achieving my goals? So I don't start.
So for me, I always talk about the wording. The quote, your thoughts create your words create your actions create your habits, right? It's such a powerful thing because you have this thought of what you want to do, and then you have the fear. So one of the things I like to teach people is you separate that fear and you write it out as a neutral statement. Like, what would be an example of something you might be afraid of from starting Seeds of Success?
I might be afraid that maybe no one would be interested, no one would want to learn a practice that would really help them. That maybe my fear might be that I would be labeled a failure.
Okay, so the fact of it is you want to start the Seeds of Success. You want to start planting seeds. The feeling you have behind it is you feel afraid that you'll fail. So what you want to do is you can create a neutral thought process that will help you bridge away from that fear and into a path that will make it easier for you to just take on those seeds and start planting and growing them. And so what I would say, an example would be many people have started planting seeds and been successful, and so can I. Or what would be another? Let's see. I am excited to plant seeds, because you feel excited by the idea of planting seeds, right?
Right.
So I would teach focusing on thoughts of that, and then it'll start growing in to where you're like, I think I will plant that seed today, and I'm going to grow it, and I'm going to help someone else, and it'll just, unfold.
I like that. Thank you. Another thought I could use the phrase, well, I would definitely be a failure if I never tried it. I feel like that would be a big mistake. So, it does, just hearing you talk about that, it makes me more inspired to use the 4 steps for the other goals that I have in my life. But you know what? What if I can't decide which one I want to work on? I just can't make up my mind. I can't decide what to do. How would you address that?
I think you would want to look at the goal that is going to make the biggest impact for you. What is the goal that is the most meaningful for you? What do you feel drawn to? What do you feel inspired by? What is the outcome that you want from your goals? And I think it's just becoming very clear on the things that you want and how that is going to grow you within your life.
Okay. Well, I use my imagination and see myself in the future, that future me that would have reached that goal. And that would help me to get started on my 4-step plan. That's what you're saying, right?
Yeah, absolutely. What you would want to do is envision your future. You want to imagine your future, and you kind of want to embody where you're headed to. You want to start embodying, it's not act as if, but it's just kind of start being who you want to be. Because when you reach that person you want to be, you want to know how to be them, So why not start today when you could be them tomorrow? So, and then
I think
you get there.
That's so perfect. And it aligns so much with what we teach here at Seeds of True Success. So it's so interesting to look at methods that we would call conventional methods and how you make them link up to working the seed system, and how much more powerful it is when you realize where it all comes from. You mentioned that, the mind triggers what we say, the mind triggers what we see ourselves doing. And what triggers the mind to do that? It's how we treated people last week. So we're ripening results from the week before, or at some time in the past. And you're using the same system with a different title to reach the same goals. I think it's fabulous. In fact, could we see what your webpage is? So if people are interested in learning more, they can look you up. There it is. Yeah. And I'm so excited to go. What If Wishes. And Laura is the host there. And I'm really excited about this because Laura and I have the same goals. We both want to help people. We want to help people have a better life, a higher quality life. And we want to maximize their use of planting seeds. So what are we doing today? We're actually working out a 4-step plan between us. We're helping each other to reach more people. So it's a wonderful 4-step plan, and it's a great example for anybody who's listening today to apply the 4 steps themselves. So, so what else could you tell us, Laura, that would inspire us to just get off the couch and to believe it's possible that we can reach these goals?
Well, so I always think of, you have the dreams you have, and you have the goals you want to accomplish, and with the 4 steps too, especially, what better way to do it than helping other people, because it not only achieves your goal, but it also creates you as the expert in becoming and bringing in that goal. Does that make sense? Like, for me to help other people gain a peace of mind, I have to become an expert in myself of teaching them that. And so when my seeds get watered and they all come in and flourish, it's coming in huge, because then I really understand that peace of mind and I can help even more. And then what I really like is that these people get into a peaceful mindset. And why wouldn't they want to share that with everyone around them? Because it's like, oh, you're having a bad day. Well, wouldn't you want to feel good? Don't you want to have a peaceful mindset and like use these thought processes and grow seeds so that you bring in everything you want in your life? And I think that's just such a big, important thing, that we all create a butterfly effect in everything we do. And in a sense, using the seeds, you're creating a butterfly effect by including other people in the things, your goals that you want to achieve. You're including the world.
Oh, that's perfect, Laura. And we here at Seeds of True Success, we practice the idea of how do seeds work in the first place. When we plant a seed, we can't plant it alone, because our actions, they take place, our language, we have to plant it with someone else. So it ties in with your logic perfectly. You have to help someone else get what they want to plant seeds to give us the results of the things we want. And that's how seeds work. You plant them, you we plant them with someone else, you water them, and they grow, and the result is always bigger than the seed you planted. So I'm just so excited that we have this opportunity today to plant a 20-minute seed that's going to grow bigger and bigger for us and for all of you listening. So we've got nothing but great things to look forward to.
Yeah, I would say so one of my new seeds would be planting, growing a course. Also, you have a course, I'm working on one too. And so I had been thinking about, okay, who can I help to, to essentially like create something new that's pretty big. And one of my friends recently asked me to stand in as a doula for her birth. And I've been trying to kind of put that together. Okay, how is, like, obviously, yes, of course, I want to be there. I'm there for you. And it didn't occur to me until I thought about it later, like, what kind of seeds will I be planting? Because I'm not having a child at this moment in time, so I'm not planting birthing seeds in a physical sense. So I was like, how is this in a way planting seeds? And I was like, I'm helping her for the creation, just like I'm creating a whole new modality for myself in a way, like going into coaching and going into my website and trying to put things together. I'm like, oh, I'm birthing something in a different sort of sense. And so it made me really excited thinking about it in the way of how the seeds are, but it's almost in a different not a tangent really. It's in a pattern of not a specific, like, oh, I'm going to help someone, let's say, build a website so I can build my website, right? I'm going to help someone birth their baby because that's going to help me grow and birth the things that I'm working on. That's not why I'm doing it necessarily, but when I realized, that's the kind of seeds it's planting and growing.
Laura, I love that. I love that example, and congratulations. And for any of you who do not know what a doula is like a birth coach. Just be there for the mom to support her in that process of a new creation, like Laura said. I want to go back a little bit. Laura had heard our program where we talked about the 5 goals. And we always say that we start with the financial independence, because it's easy to measure, and then you can prove to yourself that the seed system works. Laura had already had a great sense of how the seed system worked, but what attracted her was the third, um, well, the fourth, having inner peace. And I like that she used what she heard, but she chose what resonated with her.
Mhm.
So, I'm going to encourage any of you that haven't heard our free level 1 to listen to it, and to, when you get there, use the seed system on whatever resonates with you. So thanks for mentioning that, Laura. I was really
Yeah,
excited
and
when I heard
I
you say that.
totally agree with that in the sense that whatever resonates with you the most that you pick is going to unfold into the next thing that resonates. So right now, peace of mind resonated with me, but next it could be, working on planting financial seeds. And once you start mastering seeds through what you're drawn to and what resonated with you the most, then you're going to have a better understanding of how to plant seeds in another area of your life. And I think it's great that, people go for what they're drawn to.
Yeah, and I like that you brought that up right away, because I hadn't actually considered it. I'd always thought, well, we always start with financial independence because we can measure our success easily by checking our bank account. But I love that you brought in a new picture of how we can choose what resonates with us. Because, I'm thinking about a teenage person, they might just want a relationship or a date for a football game or something like that. So how would they plant seeds for that? That's what's going to resonate with them.
Yeah.
So I love that you showed this new page, and what we can talk about.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was just thinking. I thought we really want to get the idea across. What is it people can use to remove any obstacle to using the 4 steps and creating the future they want? Laura, into that, just maybe highlight the steps you would take to encourage people to try it. You've mentioned getting identifying their fear, changing the phrases. How would you really get them motivated to just take that first step? Get over the mindset that I can't do it.
I think it comes down to identifying, looking into yourself and identifying why you feel like you can't do it. Because when you sit there and start thinking about all the reasons why, are they bigger than the reason of why you want the goal? And I think it's working on feeling. I really like to work on helping people feel confident in what they're doing, I would say, because I do think that the fear of something is stemming from the lack of confidence that you can achieve the goal. And so that's what I would say is you can sit there and you can consider like, okay, what are all the reasons that are stopping me? And are those reasons bigger than what it's going to look like if I try? And, I think that's one of the biggest things is just you never know until you try, and all your failures are your lessons. So, and just like with a garden, like a garden, when you plant a seed, you can plant it and water it, and it'll grow or it won't, and you'll learn from that. Like I planted sunflowers in the desert dirt the other day. That didn't happen. They did not grow. But now I planted them in real soil, and I have little sprouts. And so it's kind of like once you start trying is when you start learning from cause and effect. And once you start planting those seeds and you go through the mindset, you're creating the habit of planting seeds and watering them. And by doing so, it becomes a bigger habit than the fear of not.
Oh, that's great. You made me think of our next course, our Seeds of True Success level number 2. It's called Talent, Passion, and Purpose. Now, I've actually known Laura for most of her life, and she's blossomed on her own. But she's someone who makes me realize that she's went through life and taken these steps to actually find talent that might have been hidden to her. And now she has a passion for it, and she has a purpose. Her purpose is to help a lot of other people. maybe as many people as possible. So it just linked perfectly into our next program, which is Talent, Passion, and Purpose. And the web page is there. I'm so happy you came on today, Laura. Do you
Thank
have any
you.
final information you'd like to share about your holistic coaching, your web page? We could put that up there again for what if wishes.
I chose What If Wishes because my son and I always blow the dandelion seeds out, and you make a wish on it. And we always say, what if, what if this happened? Or what if my seeds worked? What if, everything happened the way I wanted? So you're making a wish, but what if it really did work out? So that's kind of how that turned out like that. But I would say, one of the biggest things is just remember our minds are so powerful in creating the world that we want. And the only thing that holds us back from trying those things is ourselves. So it can never hurt to start planting your seeds today and seeing how they flourish in your life tomorrow and how they bring in everything that you want.
Thank you, Laura. So I would conclude this program with, what if you did a 4-step plan and you proved to yourself that it worked because you got what you wanted? Thanks for tuning in, and we'll look forward to seeing you next week. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you, Janice.
Paulina. Thank you, Shanti.